My name is Azim Beg, and you are watching the AZ Electronics YouTube channel. Today, we will talk about microwave ovens, the common faults and defects that occur in them, and the reasons behind these problems. Most of these issues are quite similar, and there are a few things that you can easily understand. In this magnetron, two magnets are attached, and their polarity is opposite to each other. For example, if the North Pole is on the top side, then the South Pole will be on the bottom side. Similarly, the North Pole of the other magnet faces the South Pole of the first magnet. In this way, the opposite poles face each other, and this is the correct position of the magnet. Attached to the magnetron is this tube, which I will open and show you. A heat sink made of aluminum fins is installed around it. Its purpose is to remove heat through airflow so that the magnetron does not overheat. This heat sink helps keep the magnetron cool during operation. This is the internal tube of the magnetron, and it has a cap on the top, which is also very important. The hole or slot in the cap should remain almost the same when replacing it. As you can see here, this section is called the magnetron cavity structure. It contains a tube, and inside it there are cavities arranged in pairs. Normally, a magnetron has 8 cavities. Inside the magnetron, there are filament connections connected to the filament terminal. In this video, I will explain everything in detail. Now let's see the common defects that occur in magnetrons. Here is a magnetron that I have not checked yet. I will open the back cover and inspect it. As you can see, I have opened the cover. When I checked it with a digital multimeter, there was no continuity. These two terminals that you can see are connected to the filament, so I decided to open it and inspect it further, because in many cases, this connection becomes loose or breaks due to the heat generated by the filament. When that happens, the multimeter does not show continuity. Here you can see that our digital multimeter is giving a beep sound when the probes are shorted together. Now we place the probes on the magnetron terminals to check whether it gives continuity or not. As you can see, this filament connection has come loose from its position. We will reconnect it properly by attaching a connector here. We should not solder this connection because the filament becomes extremely hot during operation. Due to the high temperature, the solder would eventually melt and become useless. Instead, we will secure it properly using a connector, screw fastening, or spot welding, whichever method is more suitable and reliable. Now you can see that continuity has been restored. The meter is giving a beep sound, which means the connection is now good. However, it still needs to be fixed securely. Next, I set my digital multimeter to the mega ohm range so that we can check for leakage. Here you can see that the feed-through capacitor is also completely fine, and there is no short circuit or leakage. If this feed-through capacitor becomes shorted internally or develops even a small leakage, the magnetron will not work properly because more than 5,000 volts are present here. As you can clearly see here, the connection had separated by itself. Once we reconnect and secure it properly, this magnetron should work perfectly fine. The antenna cap is also in excellent condition with no damage or burning mark. There was only a small issue at the back connection. Now I want to show you this second magnetron. There is no electrical fault in this magnetron. As you can see here on the meter, continuity is present, which means that its filament is completely fine. We also checked it with the body of the magnetron, and there is no leakage at all. The meter is set to the 200 mega ohm range, and as you can see, it is not showing any leakage reading. Now, the important thing to notice here is the magnet. As you can see, the magnet is cracked. In fact, it is completely broken into 2 pieces. Usually, when a magnet develops a crack, it is only a small crack caused by excessive heat, because the magnetron tube becomes very hot during operation. However, even a small crack can stop the magnetron from working properly because the magnetic polarity becomes disturbed. In this magnetron, the magnet is completely broken. Technically, the magnet could be replaced, but replacing only the magnet is not considered a proper repair. Normally, the entire magnetron should be replaced, so this magnetron is practically damaged beyond reliable repair. However, since some parts of it are still in good condition, they can be reused in another magnetron. For example, the antenna cap, mesh, shielding parts, and feed-through capacitor can be used as spare parts if another magnetron has damaged or shorted components. There is usually no benefit in repairing it. If the crack is not clearly visible, you can gently move the magnet slightly with a tool, and the broken part will separate instantly. In this way, either the magnet will separate completely or the internal fault will become obvious. I would also like to tell you something very important. The vacuum tube of a magnetron should never be broken intentionally. The powder and materials inside it can be harmful if inhaled, and they may cause serious damage to the lung. So magnetrons should always be handled. Now here I have another magnetron to show you. Its magnet is completely fine, and when we check the filament, you can see that continuity is present here as well. This means the filament of this magnetron is also in good condition. Here we can see that the antenna cap is slightly burnt and appears blackened. This is a common issue in microwave magnetrons. Whenever we check a microwave oven, we also inspect the thermal fuse because it can sometimes become faulty as well. As you can see, the internal tube of this magnetron is still in good condition. In this case, we only need to replace the antenna cap. After replacing the cap, we will test the microwave to see whether it works properly. If it still does not operate correctly, then we will replace the entire magnetron. The second magnetron that I showed earlier had a loose filament connection inside. The filament terminal connection had broken, and we will repair it, God willing. Similarly, the feed-through capacitor inside a magnetron can also become short-circuited internally. However, in most cases, it is better to replace the complete magnetron because repairing it is usually not very beneficial, especially when the tube itself is already worn out. So that's all for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again in the next video.